Can you believe that in 1984, a mass-produced motorcycle could reach over 160 miles per hour without turbo, without supercharger? The 1980s were the golden age of speed, when brands like Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and even BMW entered a wild race. Who would build the fastest motorcycle on Earth? The superbikes of this decade weren't just beautiful, they were wild, dangerous, and beyond imagination. Groundbreaking tech like aluminum frames, electronic fuel injection, and 5-valve-per-cylinder systems all emerged during this era. And in today's video, we'll explore the 12 fastest two-wheeled machines of the 80s. Some of them still blow riders' minds to this very day. 1981. Suzuki GSX750S Katana. If we had to choose one motorcycle that captured the rebellious spirit of the 1980s, it would be the Katana. Introduced in 1981, the Suzuki GSX750S Katana wasn't just fast, it was a visual shock. Designed by Hans Muth, former head of design at BMW Motorrad, the Katana featured a razor-sharp, aerodynamic look that was radically different from anything else at the time. It looked like a futuristic samurai warrior on two wheels. Under that bold exterior sat a 747 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4 engine, producing about 82 horsepower and capable of reaching a top speed of around 135 miles per hour. Impressive for a bike weighing over 500 pounds back then. The Katana wasn't just fast, it laid the groundwork for a new generation of modern sport bikes. While some riders thought the design was too much at the time, the Katana has since become a cult icon, symbolizing boldness, creativity, and a refusal to conform. 1984. Yamaha FJ1100. When Yamaha introduced the FJ1100 in 1984, they didn't just build a fast motorcycle, they helped create an entirely new category: large displacement sport touring. The FJ1100 featured a 1,097 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4 engine, producing around 125 horsepower, a staggering number for the time. It could reach a top speed of about 140 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest production bikes of the early 80s. But what made the FJ1000 special wasn't just its speed. Yamaha designed the bike to excel both on straightaways and long-distance rides. A lightweight aluminum frame, adjustable front forks, and a roomy two-up seat all reflected a careful balance between performance and comfort. The FJ1010 quickly gained a following among riders for its reliability and stable, high-speed cruising. It laid the foundation for successors like the FJ1200 and later the FJR1300, true touring legends. 1983, Kawasaki GPZ1100. In the early 1980s, the Kawasaki GPZ1100 stood as a symbol of cutting-edge technology and raw Japanese power. Released in 1983, it was one of the first production motorcycles to feature electronic fuel injection, a breakthrough that improved both performance and reliability. The GPZ1100 used a 1,089 cubic centimeter DOHC air-cooled inline-4 engine, producing up to 120 horsepower. Weighing about 550 pounds, it could reach a top speed of around 142 miles per hour, an impressive figure that made it one of the first superbikes to break the 140 miles per hour barrier. But speed wasn't its only strength. The GPZ1010 featured an aerodynamic fairing, upgraded front forks and rear suspension, and dual front disc brakes, offering impressive handling and control. Nicknamed the Street Machine, the GPZ1100 dominated highways and paved the way for the iconic Ninja lineup, especially the GPZ900R, the first to bear the Ninja name. 1984, BMW K100RS. When BMW introduced the K100RS in 1984, they didn't just join the speed race, they redefined how a high-performance sport bike could be built. At the heart of the K100RS was a horizontally mounted inline-4 engine, nicknamed the Flying Brick, with 987 cubic centimeters of liquid-cooled, fuel-injected power, producing about 90 horsepower. Its top speed was around 137 miles per hour, not record-breaking, but remarkable for the smooth, stable way it delivered that speed. With a solid chassis, BMW's unique monolever rear suspension, and aerodynamic fairings, the K100RS became one of Europe's earliest sport touring machines. BMW wasn't chasing peak horsepower. They were chasing mechanical refinement and high-speed stability. It also stood out with ABS braking, virtually unheard of on motorcycles at the time. The K100RS's engineering and design refinement went far beyond what most would expect from a sport bike. Today, the K100RS is recognized by vintage motorcycle fans as a turning point in BMW Motorrad history. 1984, Honda VF1000R. With the VF1000R, Honda didn't just want a fast bike, they wanted to bring racetrack technology to the street. Launched in 1984, the VF1000R was the high-performance version of the VF lineup, inspired directly by endurance racing and AMA competition. It featured a 998 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V4 double overhead camshaft engine, producing about 117 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed gearbox. With a top speed of around 145 miles per hour, it became one of Honda's most powerful superbikes of the 1980s. What made the VF1000R truly special was its gear-driven camshaft system, a rare and exotic technology borrowed from racing. It offered incredible precision and delivered a distinct mechanical whine, unlike traditional chain-driven cams. The VF1000R also boasted early use of inverted front forks, full aerodynamic fairings, and a rigid frame that improved high-speed stability. However, with a hefty curb weight of nearly 600 pounds and a premium price tag, the VF1000R wasn't for everyone. 1985, Suzuki GSXR750. The GSXR750 was the first true sport bike to bring racing technology directly to the street. Essentially, a race bike with street legality. At its heart was a 749 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine cooled by Suzuki's innovative Suzuki Advanced Cooling System, air and oil cooling, producing around 100 horsepower. With a top speed of 147 miles per hour and a dry weight of just 388 pounds, it was a game changer. With a twin-spar aluminum frame, conventional telescopic fork, dual disc brakes, and sleek aerodynamic fairings, the GSXR750 was built to dominate, on the street and at the track. It wasn't just fast, it was lighter, sharper, and more responsive than anything before. Riders often called it the first superbike for the common man. The GSXR750's influence rippled through the late 80s and 90s, laying the foundation for the modern sport bike era. 1987, Yamaha FZR1000 Genesis. When Yamaha released the FZR1000 Genesis in 1987, the high-performance motorcycle world had to redefine what a sport bike could be. This wasn't just a fast bike, it was a technological landmark that ushered in the modern superbike era. The FZR1000 featured a 989 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled inline-4 engine with an innovative 5-valve per cylinder design, cutting edge for its time. Producing about 135 horsepower, the bike could reach a top speed of 158 miles per hour. But what truly set it apart was its new Delta Box aluminum frame, offering unmatched rigidity and lightness. Paired with high-end suspension and dual front disc brakes, the FZR1000 delivered razor-sharp handling at high speeds, something few contemporaries could claim. The press dubbed it the first all-around sport bike, fast, powerful, and stable. It wasn't just inspired by race bikes, it became the benchmark others had to chase. 1988, Bimota YB4EI. If big brands like Honda or Yamaha brought technology, then Bimota, a small Italian firm, delivered handcrafted speed artistry. And their 1980s masterpiece was the Bimota YB4EI. Launched in 1988, the YB4EI was developed to compete in world superbike racing while remaining street legal. It used a 749 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine borrowed from the Yamaha FZ750, but refined and mounted inside Bimota's custom aluminum frame, making the bike significantly lighter. With around 112 horsepower and a dry weight of just 407 pounds, the YB4EI could hit a top speed of 160 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest and lightest sport bikes of the decade. What made it truly special was the attention to detail. Every weld, every aerodynamic curve was race-grade. It was also the first Bimoto street bike to feature electronic fuel injection, an extremely rare feature at the time. For motorcycle enthusiasts, the YB4EI is considered a work of art, where performance, design, and rarity merge. Only a few hundred were ever made, making it a true speed collector's gem. 1987, Honda CBR1000F Hurricane. With a name like Hurricane, Honda wasn't exaggerating. When it debuted in 1987, the CBR1000F was one of the most powerful, smoothest, and advanced sport bikes in the world. It featured a 998 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled inline-4 engine, producing about 132 horsepower, allowing it to reach a top speed of 161 miles per hour, an impressive figure for a bike weighing over 550 pounds. What set the CBR1000F apart was its perfect balance of speed and smoothness. It had a fully enclosed fairing, a revolutionary one-piece design that drastically improved aerodynamics, a strong steel frame, 41mm front forks, dual disc brakes, and well-tuned suspension made it suitable for both long tours and hard acceleration. Though later overshadowed by lighter superbikes, the Hurricane was a powerful gust that swept across global markets. 1986, Kawasaki GPZ1000RX. Before Ninja became a global icon, Kawasaki unleashed a monster that paved the way. The GPZ1000RX, introduced in 1986, seen as a full upgrade from the GPZ900R, the 1000RX featured a 997 cubic centimeter DOHC inline-4 liquid-cooled engine, producing around 125 horsepower. It reached a top speed of 165 miles per hour, making it the fastest production motorcycle in the world at the time. The GPZ1000RX impressed with a solid chassis, refined suspension, and aerodynamic fairings that kept the bike stable at high speeds. With a dry weight of about 540 pounds, it wasn't light, but well-balanced for a near 1,000cc machine. However, the RX had a twist of fate. Just 1 year after its debut, Kawasaki launched the Ninja ZX10, lighter, faster, and more advanced, pushing the RX into the shadows despite its short-lived reign. 1989, Yamaha FZR1000R OW01. The Yamaha FZR1000R OW01 is one of the rarest homologation sport bikes ever made to qualify for the early World Superbike Championship. Released in 1989, the OW01 featured a 749 cubic centimeter inline-4 DOHC engine with 5 valves per cylinder and liquid cooling, producing around 121 horsepower. Paired with a dry weight of just 407 pounds, it could reach a top speed of 167 miles per hour, placing it among the fastest 750cc bikes ever built. What set the OW01 apart was its race-ready engineering: a premium aluminum delta box frame, racing spec suspension, Brembo brakes, and a close-ratio gearbox. Every detail was crafted for speed, precision, and endurance on the track. With a price nearly double that of regular sport bikes at the time, the OW01 wasn't for everyone. It was for racers and true collectors. Only about 500 units were produced worldwide. 1989, Suzuki GSXR1100. First launched in 1986, the GSXR1100 reached peak performance and design refinement by its 1989 update. Powered by a 1,127 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine cooled by Suzuki's SACS system, it produced an impressive 143 horsepower, a staggering figure for the late 80s. Its top speed, over 170 miles per hour, making it the fastest production motorcycle in the world at that time. What made it even more impressive was its weight, just 487 pounds dry, significantly lighter than its rivals. With a twin-spar aluminum frame, oversized disc brakes, and sharp aerodynamics, the GSXR 1100 wasn't just fast, it was solid and controllable at warp speed. It quickly became a legend in drag racing, track days, and street riding alike. Back then, few bikes could even come close. The GSXR1100 was the purest expression of the raw and wild sport bike era, where horsepower ruled all. The 1980s weren't just about rock music, action movies, and tech booms. They were also the golden era of two-wheeled speed. The machines you've just seen didn't just break records, they rewrote the rulebook, laying the foundation for modern sport bikes. From the bold Suzuki Katana, the revolutionary Yamaha FZR Genesis, to the beastly GSXR1100, each bike told a story and left a legacy that still echoes today. If you've ever owned, dreamed of, or ridden one of these bikes, share your memories in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And if you're passionate about speed, technology, and legendary machines, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more epic rides coming your way. See you in the next high-speed adventure.